as you guys know, the Kansas City Chiefs do improve to 5-0 on the season with a 26-13 win over the New Orleans Saints. This was without two of the biggest offensive weapons on the Kansas City side of the ball, with Isaiah Pacheco being out and, of course, Rashid Rice being out for most likely for the rest of the season. As we look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they're 5-0. When we look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they're finding different ways to win. When we look at the Kansas City Chiefs right now, is there a team out there that can beat the Kansas City Chiefs? Straight up, is there a team out there right now that can beat the Kansas City Chiefs? That's the question I'm asking you guys. So comment in the comments below. Is there a team out there that can beat the Kansas City Chiefs? Give me a team and give me a reason why. So far this season, guys, Patrick Mahomes has had a turbulent season per se, right? He's definitely not performing at an MVP level or the greatest quarterback in the NFL level as of right now. Last night, he only averaged 3.7 air yards in the game versus the Saints. Many times this season, or many times, like in the game last night, the Kansas City Chiefs had 3 to 4 tight ends on the field at the same time. Kareem Hunt, I might add, is their third string running back. He has 102 yards. He had 102 yards on the ground last night on 27 attempts. Really un-Kansas City-like per se. They also had Juju Smith-Schuster stepped up as well. 130 yards on the ground or in the air. And the Kansas City defense, yet again, is a top 10 defense. Guys, the Kansas City Chiefs find ways to win game after game after game. Whether it's putting 4 tight ends on the field, whether it's spreading you out and airing it out, whether it's a ground and pound crown attack, or if it's a defense attack. Like I said, the Kansas City Chiefs defense right now, guys, is top 10. They're only giving up 17 points a game so far this season. Every team they have played, they've held them underneath their average. Baltimore Ravens only scored 20 points against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Ravens right now are averaging 30 points per game. The Bengals held them to 25 points per game. The Bengals were averaging 28 points a game. You guys are catching the trend here, right? The Falcons held them to 17 points. The Falcons are actually averaging 22 points per game. Chargers 10, they're averaging 17, and the Saints are averaging 28 points per game and held them to 13 points. When we look at this, guys, the Kansas City Chiefs they are a team that can beat you in many, many ways, like I said. And they continue to get better in those ways. Who would have thought that Andy Reid would have rushed Kareem Hunt for 29 times last night? The ground and pound, the nickel and dime you down the field. Did you see that coming? I certainly did not, and I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. The Chargers game was a defensive battle. The defense is still great. They can also outscore you by pushing the ball down the field still. The Kansas City Chiefs can beat you in a plethora of ways. Guys, I am telling you that the Kansas City Chiefs are unstoppable. I'm telling you that the Kansas City Chiefs, even in their B game, like they did, like they played last night, they're still a top 5 team in the NFL. Who out there realistically can beat the Kansas City Chiefs? I'm telling you guys right now, they are an unstoppable force. Three-peat is pending. Three-peat is loading. Understand that, guys. All you Raiders fans, all you Vikings fans, all you Lions fans, whoever you root for, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be an unstoppable force. Now, they're going to lose a game this season, or 3. It is going to happen. It always happens. Those losses just make them that much stronger. You can only learn so much when you consistently win all the time. So when they have a hiccup, potentially versus the Carolina Panthers, when they have a hiccup, potentially against the Los Angeles Chargers, when they have a hiccup, potentially versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's just going to improve them, going to make them better. Last Christmas, right, the Kansas City Chiefs were a sinking ship. They were a sinking ship. They could not buy a win. Raiders come into Arrowhead Stadium, and they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs have not lost since then. Haven't lost since then. Guys, the Kansas City Chiefs are an unstoppable force. In the comments, guys, let's have a healthy discussion. Who can beat the Kansas City Chiefs realistically? Give me a team and give me a reason why. Give me a reason why. I don't want any Chiefs hurt, but if they continue to X-lax with the kick-cack, so be it. if they confuse the X-Lax with the Kit Kat. Sheesh. Casey Morgan says Juju and Kareem Hunt showed out last night. Listen, anytime a running back, a third string running back, I might add, 20 days off the practice squad, has 29 carries for 100 yards, football gods are in your favor. Football gods are in your favor. And Laura says, I was hoping Kansas City would lose last night. I'm just saying, she says. She's only saying that because she only wanted to be the only undefeated team. Let's just be honest. John says, I sound constipated. I sound nasally because it's allergy season, you douche. George Lucas says the defense is balling out. The defense is balling out. The defense, yet again, is a top 10 defense. Right now, they're ranked 9th in the NFL. Not only do the Kansas City Chiefs have a great offense with great coaching and can beat you any stretch of the imaginations, if the offense doesn't show up or if the offense stumbles for a quarter or two, the defense is there to bail them out. It's up like it is. John says the Detroit Lions can beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Potentially. Potentially, they could, but the Lions' defense is suspect at best. The Lions' defense pass rush is blah. The Lions' secondary is If you shut down one aspect of their offense, whether it be the passing game or the running game, the Detroit Lions are going to collapse. The Kansas City Chiefs, if you decide to shut down the running game, they will pass the ball all over you. If you try to take away the passing game, they're going to run all over you like they just did last night. Just saying. Laura, you're up. Same OG Big Quake says, it's going to be hard to beat the Kansas City Chiefs when the refs are on their roster. And there we go. We've been waiting for a refs compliment here. We have been waiting for it all show long. I posted a thing out there earlier today. The first comment was, oh, the refs are... Listen here, same old BG Big Quake. What did the refs do last night to, quote, help the Kansas City Chiefs? What did the refs do last night to cheat for the Kansas City Chiefs? What did the refs do last night to let Kareem Hunt rush for 103 yards? What did the refs do last night to allow Juju to catch 130 yards passing? What did the refs do last night to let Patrick Mahomes run forward, run backwards, spin, and dive for the first down? He did his best impression of Lamar Jackson. What did the refs do? What did the refs do? The point of the matter is that the refs did not help the Kansas City Chiefs last night. Matter of fact, the refs were more helping of the, what are you doing, bud? There you go. The refs were actually helping the Saints more than anything. I'm just saying. Casey says, I full on believe that the Bucs can beat the Kansas City Chiefs. If the Bucs are executing a A+ game from start to finish, Casey, I will give you that. If the Bucs on every aspect of the game completed A+ 100% of the time, they can beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I will give you that one. I will give you the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. However, the Kansas City Chiefs will not play the Buccaneers. The Kansas City Chiefs potentially could play the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. I get it. But the Buccaneers are probably going to be a second round exit in the playoffs. The NFC quickly got a lot better. Laura says, I don't think my Vikings are there yet. Jim Powell says Chiefs D is coming on strong early. Could be bad later. Jim, I would say that the case if last year they did not prove that otherwise. Last year, the defense performed great all season long. And ever since Steve Spagnuolo has been the defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, they get better as the season goes on. Historically, they start off slow. The first 6, 7, 8 games of the season, they're a subpar defense. The last half, always better. Last season, their subpar play was the first half of the season. They're still a top 15 defense, and they got better as the season progressed. I don't think they're going to get any worse, barring any injuries. Now, if Bolton would happen to go down, or Chris Jones, or Justin Reed, or McDuffie, or somebody like just like that, then it could be a long season. But barring injury, I don't think the Chiefs defense gets any worse. John must be a Detroit Lions fan, says Detroit just has that culture to match the Chiefs. They always pull through. They should be unbeaten as well. They outplayed and should have won the Bucs in game 2. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, right, John? Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But the fact of the matter is that the Detroit Lions are going to lose to the Cowboys this week. The simple fact of the matter is that the Detroit Lions are going to have a rough regular season. Now, they might have a better postseason. I predict them going to the NFC Championship game again. But this regular season, the Lions are going to be a little rough. Make them a little bit more battle-tested. And it could make it for a good Super Bowl. Lions versus Chiefs. Could happen. It could happen. They won't beat them, though, but it could happen. Laura says, I normally wouldn't say this, but the refs helped that win last night. How did the refs help you? Stop locking it up, bud. How did the refs help the Chiefs last night? I'm asking a legit question. How did the Chiefs help the Chiefs last night? I don't see it. Casey says the Chiefs have a deep wide receiver threat, 2 tight ends that could catch, and a good running back. The issue the Chiefs has right now is the left side of the offensive line. And they're young, second and rookie players. They're just going to get better, Casey. But the Chiefs are well balanced on offense. They got receivers, they got tight ends, they got running backs. The only weakness is Casey is the left side of the offensive line. And they're getting better each and every week. Big Quake says, man, go to bed. Go to sleep. Man, I never get tired. I ain't never go to sleep. George Lucas says Spagnuolo knows when to send the pressure. Steve Spagnuolo is arguably one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL. What was it? 4th and 13, right? The Kansas City Chiefs man up on the outside. They brought, 9 guys in the house. Of course, Derek Carr threw a perfect pass right through the tight end's hands. But yeah, Steve Spagnuolo always dials up the pressure at the right time. And 9 times out of 10, the Kansas City Chiefs get to them when they do dial up the pressure. Steve Spagnuolo is a great defensive coordinator. I mean, luckily for me, as a Kansas City Chiefs fan, nobody wants to hire him as a head coach. So he's staying put in Kansas City, which is awesome. But he should be getting some head coaching looks, right? Big Quake says the Bengals can always beat them if you keep the refs from cheating. Yeah. Tell me how the Bengals could have won week 2. How could the Bengals couldn't have beat them last year in the regular season, or in the playoffs a couple years ago? The Bengals are complete trash. Get the Bengals out of here, Big Quake. Come on, man. You're better than that. The Bengals are trash. Bengals are trash. James says Kareem Hunt ain't no true third-string runner back. He replaced his number 1 or number 2. James, you got me there. Kareem Hunt is not a third-string running back. You are spot on. He is the number 1 running back right now for the Kansas City Chiefs. Carson Steele just isn't the dog that people thought he was going to be. But I would be curious once Isaiah Pacheco comes back in, it's like six more weeks, right? Are we going to have a nice little 1-2 threat with Kareem Hunt and Isaiah? Or do we see Isaiah maybe jumping out to receiver? I don't know. I'm just saying. Casey says, since he makes himself lose with stupid fits and cost them yards. Yep. Cincinnati is the most undisciplined team out there, hands down. Notorious Melian GP says, no one can touch the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, let's just be honest. The Kansas City Chiefs have beaten themselves in order for you to have a chance to be in the game. Notorious GP, You are spot on. The only team that can beat the Kansas City Chiefs are the Kansas City Chiefs themselves. That's it. And Quake is still on this referee situation here. And if you get the lead, the refs will cheat versus the Kansas City Chiefs. There's video proof, says Big Quake. Show it to me then, Big Quake. Show me that the referees have it in their earpiece like, oh shit, guys, the Ravens are up by 7 points versus the Chiefs. We need to find a way to get them like a lead. Oh, pass interference call. Come on. Guys, think logically here. Jesus. Hunt's on my fantasy team, says John, but John still lost his fantasy game. Imagine that. Mark Lewis is in the chat. What's up, Mark? He says absolutely nothing. He just want to cry like the rest. Yes. Guys, we are lucky that social media wasn't a big thing back when the Patriots were in their dynasty run. When the Patriots were legitimately cheating, Spygate, Deflategate, whatever else gate you want to call it, we are lucky that social media wasn't dominant because everybody would have been screaming, oh, the Patriots are cheating, the Patriots are this, right? Now, you heard some rumblings like, oh, the refs are favoring Tom Brady, etc., whatever, right? Of course, veteran favoritism is what it's called. You pay your dues. After 4, 5, 6 years in the league, you start to get those calls. That's just the way it is. But the Chiefs legitimately have not cheated in the NFL. Patriots have. Deflategate, Spygate, whatever you want to call it. They legitimately have cheated. We don't hear people bitching about that. Oh, because you're losing. It's because you're losing. Big Quake says, I don't care about the game last night. I didn't watch. But yet you're in here talking shit about the referees, about how the referees say the Kansas City Chiefs perfect season. Come on now, man. You want to talk shit. You want to run your mouth about how the refs helped the Kansas City Chiefs, but you didn't even watch the game last night. So you have no evidence or eye test or whatever. You're seeing what people are saying on social media. Stop being a sheep and watch the game for yourself. Show me where the referees help the Kansas City Chiefs. Because you can't. Because you can't. Same old Quake says Detroit and the Vikings will beat the Kansas City Chiefs. No, they won't. No, they won't. Detroit Lions won't even have an opportunity to get there. And the Minnesota Vikings, they can toe-to-toe to them with the receiver play, toe-to-toe to them with the running back play, toe-to-toe with them potentially with the defensive of play. But the Kansas City Chiefs have stuff that the Minnesota Vikings don't have. Patrick freaking Mahomes and a winning culture. It's just what it is. John says the Lions are not losing the Cowboys game. I don't know. We'll talk about that. The defense has been making teams one-dimensional, shutting the running backs down all day long, says Mark. Exactly. Anytime a defense can make an offense one-dimensional, they are in for a long, long day. No matter who you are, even if the Kansas City Chiefs become a one-dimensional offense, it could be a long day. It won't be, but it could be. Another person says the Detroit Lions can beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I guess we'll see in the Super Bowl, right? Awesome look. Somebody is just a hater, says Mark Lewis. Listen, if you are talking bad about the Kansas City Chiefs, of like how the refs are saving them and like all that stuff, but then you're not even watching the games, come on, dog. Come on, man. John Ross is in the chat, says, it's my birthday today. I'm 35 Dream Power. Well, John, happy birthday to you, man. Welcome to the old man club. We're all 35 plus here, it seems like. Hell, I just realized that I'm 37 and it's all downhill. Like, let's just be honest. I wake up every day, my feet hurt, my back hurts, right? Whatever, it is what it is. Jim Powell says, watch the last 3 plays of the NO offense. 3 PIs in a row not called. There would have been one personal pass interference call that was not called. On the 4th and 15, I believe the pass was to Chris Ovale. There was one pass interference call that was not called. I will give you that one, but that did not decide the game. They already down by 13 points at that game with like 36 seconds left. The game was over. Mark Lewis says, oh, look, another hater, but you're going to talk about PI on Worthy. Hey, Mark, I wasn't going to go there, but yes, the pass interference call on James Worthy. How about the PI on Noah Gray? I'm just saying, it goes on and on and on. Mario Flores says, why did the Bengals run the ball and kill the clock? I don't know. Because Zach Taylor's a terrible coach. That's why. George Lucas says Spagnuolo is the next Jets head coach. If you want to talk about the Jets and their coaching aspect, Robert Saleh was a defensive-minded coach. I think now you got to go to an offensive-minded head coach, whether it be somebody like Eric Bieniemy or somebody like just that. I think the Jets bring in an offensive guy. I don't know. I haven't done a lot of research on it yet, but we will talk about it. Of course, there's going to be a lot talked about here coming up. Big Quake says the holding call at the end, get the Chiefs out of here with the zesty QB. I'm not for sure what call you're talking about. I don't think you are either because you weren't watching the game. Kareem and Pacheco would be the number one backfield right now next to the Lions backfield. Probably right. And to be honest, I'm surprised that the Saints don't use Jamal Williams more in the backfield. That could be a nice dominant 1-2 punch as well. Casey says, if a team can't stop a team that's 3rd and 24, that's a skill issue. Do you guys remember that? It was actually, Casey, it was 2nd and 34, right? 2nd and 34, and the Kansas City Chiefs got a first down still. The Kansas City Chiefs are just unstoppable. The Chiefs are the best team, says John, in the NFL. Pat, the best quarterback in the league, still, in my opinion, and I don't see them as cheaters. But all my lines are running, but my lines are ruining your three-peat. I would love to see the Giants or the Lions in the Super Bowl. Lions Chiefs Super Bowl would be great. James says the only team in the NFC that take out the Chiefs is the Super Bowl is the San Francisco 49ers. We've shown, I think the Chiefs have shown that the San Francisco 49ers cannot stop them because Kyle Shanahan shits the bed. Notorious Million GP says, take of the day, the Kansas City Chiefs' first 5 games is just like Andy Reid's first 15 plays. The Kansas City Chiefs are prepared for the Super Bowl by playing scrimmage with all the other teams. Chalk it up, baby. Notorious, I believe you are a Kansas City Chiefs fan from what your picture. It looks like you're wearing a Chiefs Kingdom shirt there. Me as a Chiefs fan as well. Let's not get crazy if the Kansas City Chiefs do drop a couple games. It is coming. It is coming. James says 35, 37. I'm surrounded by kids. Nathan says, are you still live? We are live, Nathan, right now. Live, raw, uncut, every Monday through Friday, 2:30 East Coast time. And Nathan says, yeah, blaming the refs is a cop-out. People who do that shouldn't be allowed to post on Facebook. Nathan, clearly you are not part of our AFC West Trash Talk group. Because that is all it is. That is all it is. Blaming of the refs. And Casey says, the way I view it, if you have to blame the refs for cheating, your football IQ is super low. And you can't accept the fact that maybe your team just isn't that good. Don't shoot the messenger. Shoot the sender. Casey, shoot the sender. But guys, are the Kansas City Chiefs unstoppable? Who can beat the